They were totally different experiences.
It's just my view. Hey. I digress. It's exciting.
Hey you guys, and welcome to Reviews with Whitney D. I'm Whitney D. Let's get into it, shall we? All right, you guys, thank you again for joining me. Now, as you can see, the topic of discussion are my labor experiences. I think you guys are aware that I am a mother and I love my babies wholeheartedly. But I've been through a few different experiences in my life, and I wanted to share my stories with you guys that may be curious out there. I'm giving my reviews on my birthing experiences. So, my daughter Demi, I had a induced natural labor, okay? And to break that down, I was considerably high risk because I had some experiences in the past. Got 16 and pregnant, and I had a stillborn. They still to this day did not know in regards to why that happened. So they were very much on high alert in regards to me getting pregnant again years later. So Demi was actually going to be a February 14th Valentine's Day baby, but unfortunately they induced me a week before. They induced me on the 7th, and I gave birth to Demi on the 8th of February 2015. Now, in regards to being induced and natural, so they induced me. However, I had no medicines. I was strongly against having an epidural or any kind of medicines in regards to that and intervening in regards to my labor experience. I wanted to experience it through and through. Didn't know that I was going to be induced and the Pitocin was going to kick my butt. But I wanted to experience this wholeheartedly. Then we have my son, Denim. He was 100% natural, no interference whatsoever. Meaning, I went into the labor naturally. I had no medicines whatsoever, no interventions, okay? So with you knowing both of these stories, let's get into the first experience in regards to my Demi Dion, okay? Which she is 4 years old now. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Nonetheless, okay, so as I stated, the backstory, I was considerably high risk, okay? And so I did everything imaginable to try to induce my labor. I did the primrose, I did everything, okay? And she would not budge. So I had a doula and everything. I was nervous because I had, the stillborn at 32 weeks with my son when I was 16 years old. Nonetheless, I was just like, oh dear God, what's gonna happen? So we were doing our research and finding out all the different things. Mind you, this is my husband. And we decided to not do a lot of different things in regards to inducing our labor. And so in regards to going into labor, they put me on Pitocin that morning. I had a 28-hour labor with my daughter. 28 hours. It was intense. It was intense and it was excruciating. I went from laboring, and then they told me, and I do this because it was a lot of stuff that went down on that labor that was a horrible experience. First and foremost, okay, they broke my waters without my consent. I had a birthing plan that they did not take into consideration. It seems as if you're on Medicaid or any kind of government assistance, they treat you like a redheaded child, okay? But they weren't prepared for me and my husband because, we knew our rights, we knew, what we wanted and everything. We came with a birthing plan. Nonetheless, the doctor lied to me and told me that he was checking my service and he broke my waters. My husband handled that accordingly. I digress. First broken, labor progressed. It got way more intense that. Mind you, they were still pumping me with Pitocin. Okay, so they checked me and I was supposed to be ready. They got me on the table to get ready, push, and the doctor was like, wait a minute, hold up, it's a 22. Nope, it was a uterus. I still had a lining of my uterus there, and if I would have pushed, my uterus out. Yeah, so they had me get out of the birthing position, out of the chair, and get back into the laboring table and labor till I couldn't labor anymore. Okay, mind you, that was probably like an hour or two later. Then it was time to have my Demi-Dim. Okay, I'm strong on leave me alone. If I rip, if I tear, whatever case may be, let me do it all naturally. I don't need you to cut me. I don't need you to do anything. If anything, help me stretch this bad booger out. Okay, and that's what was done. And so Demi came out. Probably about 4 or 5 pushes, she was out. Okay, and that experience was intense. Okay, now postpartumly, I bounced back real quick with Demi. I mean, weeks later, my stomach was going down. You know, months later, my stomach was back in position. Get on Denim Dim, okay, my son. All right, which is 1 year old today. Not today, but 1 year old now. Okay, so they were still trying to scare me again because, oh, they had to take Demi-Dim early, so they wanted to take Denim Dim early.
Heck no, that was not going to happen.
All right, no. So what I did was looked up everything imaginably. I took my primrose again. I did all the teas and raspberry leaf teas and all that stuff like that. But the kicker was, I took pineapple juice. I'm serious, y'all. I think that really what happened. What really helped. Drunk pineapple juice till I couldn't drink pineapple juice anymore. I walked around, and then the night before I went into labor, my sister came over and we had a dance party, for real. We went back to the 90s with the music and we were doing it. I was ooh, yeah. Kid you not. 2 o'clock in the morning, I decided to lay down, get some rest. I was like, okay, feeling a little pain, but it's all right. I'm used to this, so I'm getting closer and closer and closer, mind you. Technically, I was probably about a few days over my, I was 2 days over my due date. And so it's like, okay, this is normal. This is what it's going to do. And mind you, they also would schedule me to be induced that following week. This was Saturday going into Sunday. So, felt pains and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. So I probably about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I had to go use the restroom, went to use the restroom, sat back down, had to go and use the restroom again. I was like, what is going on? This is weird. Okay, so I go back to the restroom again. I said, let me look at this tissue. No, it's gross. I'm sorry. Use discretion advised. I wipe and I check. It was bloody show. Okay, so that means my mucus plug came out and something was about to go down. But still, didn't pay it any mind because that can come out up to a week before you're about to really go into labor, okay? So I was like, okay, all right. I go back and the pains are getting more intense, okay? By the time now it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, I go and tell my husband, oh, it's showtime, buddy. I'm feeling it. You might want to get up. But he didn't rush. He was like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm sure. He was like, all right. And I was like, all right, but just chill because I don't know. Mind you, this is my first time having a natural labor. So I'm like, I don't really know, And again, I have a high pain tolerance, okay? I do. I pain freak, okay? So nonetheless, time goes by and I send the picture to my mom, and it was like 5:06 and she was just like, oh no, yeah, it's time. I'm on my way. And I'm just saying to myself like, okay, like I'm not quite sure. She comes, the pain is getting more intense and I'm monitoring them by this time. I have an app on my phone and I'm watching the time go by, okay? And so when I say this, do not at me. My contractions were 1 minute and 30 seconds apart, okay? It wasn't that intense to me. They were laughing. I'm laughing, talking to my mom. They're drinking coffee at the house. And I'm just, going through it, going through the motions. We arrived at the hospital. So my mom is like seeing me go through all this pain. And I'm just like, I'm okay, Mom. She's like, no, let's go to the hospital. You can labor there. We don't have to check in or nothing like that. Let's just go to the hospital so we can be safe and just in case. I was like, okay, whatever. Y'all, as soon as we get there, we register. So they put me in a room and they check my cervix. They turn to me and tell me,
are you ready to have this baby?
I'm like, what are you talking about? I was at a 7-8, y'all. A 7-8. Mind you, all you need is a 10 to be ready to push. They turn to me and say, you're at a 7-8. You're about to have this baby. Let's get you admitted. I was like, okay, all right, let's go. So I get into the room and I labor for a few hours, and and I'm just like, okay, like, wow, Well, I'm a little frame woman. I'm 5'4", and I'm like 100, 108, 110, 15 on my best day, okay? And my blood pressure was going up because this was very intense and experience that I was putting on myself. And so they told me to to turn on my right side. They were trying to get my labor to go down. Immediately turning over, my water breaks, okay? So they turned me back over and they're like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm positive my water has broken. Okay, so they raised me up, checked me. Yeah, my water had broke. And my son's head was right there. But they were like, okay, when you get that urge to push, push. And I was like, okay. They said, you're going to have this baby in the next hour. And I was just like, okay, fine. Family gathering around and getting ready or whatever. And so I'm like, I want the I want the rail. I want the bar or whatever, because I want to, And so they get it. And I was like, I don't want it. I got to push. So they get me ready to push, y'all. I got so terrified. I was like, oh, I can't do this. My husband turns to me like, you can do it. You can do it, baby. Calm down. Your baby boy is on the other side of this. And, So, yeah, and I focused on him, and pushes later, my son was into this world, and it was a beautiful experience. I wouldn't take it back for the world, but they had to pack me with magnesium and put not a suppository, but a catheter in me to monitor my urine, because I had high blood pressure. They didn't want me to seize or have any mental issues or whatever, because my blood pressure was so high. So they wanted to monitor me and my urine and things like that. And so they did that for a while. And I couldn't really move out of bed. I couldn't really tend to my baby like that. It was an intense experience, but I wouldn't change it for the world. So there you have it. Now you've heard the experience of natural induced to the full natural experience. Tell me your experience down in the comments below. And tell me something that you may have a question about in regards to labor, because, hey, I've went through it all, apparently. And I'm grateful, to say the least. If you are in a situation where they're trying to force you to be induced, hang in there. I'm not a doctor, but you do what's in the best interest of you. God did not create us to be mothers if he did not equip us, okay? You know what's best for your body and what's best for baby, okay? And you got to feel that and be in tune with your body, okay? And you got to get you a doctor or physician that's going to actually meet you halfway, that's going to stand behind you and push you. I had some wonderful staff that was willing to push off stuff a bit longer, just to see if something happened naturally, but at the end of the day, they wanted to do what was best in the best interest of the baby, which I totally understand that, but I wouldn't change my birthing experience with my son for the world. I would with my daughter, okay, because that was too much, okay, but I digress. But the thing is that, your experience is your experience. I can only give you mine. This has been Reviews of Whitney D. I am Whitney D. I ask that you subscribe if you have not. Sharing is caring, so please take out the time to share this video. Maybe it will inspire someone. And if you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up. If you did not, I'll take the thumbs down. Not really, I'm just being nice, but I digress. I just want to know that you are around. Thank you guys so very much. This has been Reviews with Whitney D. I'm Whitney D. Bye.
I digress.
Signing off. Deuces.